we're back live on YouTube and all the YouTube channels and the Facebooks.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Now we're just missing our guest.
Now we're just missing our guest. Yes.
All right.
He's been sucked into the game. He is currently fighting for survival.
Yeah.
Taking on seemingly endless hordes. So modern video games, Kevin. I haven't played a lot of modern first-person shooters. Your ammunition supply is not unlimited, right? You have to like find magazines, and so like he could exhaust a clip of 20 bullets pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm just a little concerned for him, is all. I mean, do you think he'll be okay?
He should be fine. Yeah. Like I say, the oh yeah, there we are, back again.
We're back.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, all right. You got his. All right. We don't have his video back though.
Give me just a second. I will fix that.
Well,
All right.
I see me.
Oh,
You
good.
see-
For what that's worth.
So we were just stalling for time there. I was just telling Kevin, I said, oh my God, I think Chad's been sucked into his video game. He's like actually fighting for survival, like Tron. And I was like, Kevin, modern games, you don't have like unlimited ammo supplies. I mean, Chad could go through 20 bullets in a clip pretty quickly. You think he'll find some good ammo, some grenades? I mean, if you were literally sucked into your game, like in Tron or Tron Legacy, how well do you think you'd do?
I'll tell you what, if it's Contra, I'm going to be fine. I love Contra, and I got so good at Contra. To this day, I'm still so good at Contra that I don't need the Konami code. That is for amateurs.
Wow.
I will run 3 lives, and I will end the game with 7 from the high scores. So this is a humble brag.
That's
And,
impressive, man.
Hope I don't get trolled, but I just might. I don't think anyone remembers Contra.
Actually, I
honestly.
remember Contra. I wasn't that good at it, but I remember the game.
I've got it
Super.
in a bin somewhere.
Contra was my jam. I love that game.
Now, if you
if
got
it's something in the Contra world, I'll be okay.
I thought I had, so back in the day, my first console game, my first gaming console was the ColecoVision. That kind of pre-Nintendo. I think they got sold out to Nintendo.
Right.
With the terrible controllers. All I ever had was the one game that it came with, which was Donkey Kong. And I could flip that game 3 times before I just got too tired to where I would just, it would be hours later. And, I would finally start losing. But I thought, I was at a video game con, right? There's this video game con around here called MagFest, Music and Gaming Festival. I went there, and they have a museum of old video games, and they had the ColecoVision with Donkey Kong, and I'm like, I'm gonna tear this shit up. By the way, feel free to curse on my show; it's fine. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna ruin this. And maybe there's something to that whole muscle memory thing, because my muscles did not remember. It was too long ago. You got that whole 7 years or you lose it.
Yeah.
I lost it. I could not. I was like I was practically brand new. Whereas, like I say before, I would just play for hours and hours.
I'm the same way with the the Call of Duty games. Sometimes it would be like 3, 4, 5 weeks before I could kind of get back into playing through the old ones. And I'm like, did I really just drop a grenade on my foot again? Like, I thought we were past this, but it does. It becomes about muscle memory. I was recently off doing a film, and I played, in a pretty competitive basketball league. Once, sometimes twice a week, and like I haven't played in 5 weeks, so I'm dreading the first time stepping back on the court. It's the same thing with video games. It's that hand-eye coordination, where if you don't use it, you certainly lose it, and then you'll just be spending a lot of time respawning.
Yep, for sure. You're gonna say something, Troy?
Oh well, no, I was. I've never been very good with first-person shooters, so when it came to video games, at the height of my having time to play, I was all third-person fight games: Killer Instinct, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mortal Kombat Ultimate and Trilogy were probably my two favorites. Street Fighter Alpha 2 and Alpha 3 were probably my two favorites there. I started playing Injustice Gods Among Us. I've only gotten as far as playing the first iteration, haven't played the second one. But games like that were always my jam. Of course, when I was young and in shape, if I got sucked into a game, I'd be able to fight a few fights. You know, my black belt wasn't that far behind me, but now I'm like really out of shape. So if I got sucked into a Mortal Kombat game, it's flawless victory for whoever I'm fighting. It's like a freebie.
Hilarious. It's funny you mentioned that because that's just such a great walk down memory lane. I remember the heyday of Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I remember there was a very small local like comic and card shop in our hometown that was open very briefly, and they actually got a coin-op Street Fighter 2 Turbo game in there. So instead of like taking my $1.25 for like the state hot lunch at lunch in high school, I would just go and get 5 quarters, and I would go for my 30-minute school lunch break, and we'd go and play. And, you know, you'd put the quarter up, which means you had next. You know, you put it under the monitor there. And so, like, 2 people would feed a quarter in, they'd fight each other, and whoever lost is next man up, and the winner just kind of stayed on. And so I remember I got so good, you know, playing with Ken, of course. He's got the range on the Shoryuken. He's got the range, you know. So I remember going to the mall an hour away, and like on 1 quarter, like I could pretty much milk 45 minutes of entertainment time with 1 quarter. That's how good I used to be at Street Fighter 2, just taking out all comers, man. I miss SF2. It's so good. 10 days, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I think if I got sucked into my current favorite game, it would, I also couldn't handle, just because what I tend to play is what do you call Rock Band. And while I can convince my Xbox that I can sing, in real life, not really, not so much.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you, dude. It's not pretty.
Yeah.
No singing.
No, I love to do it. I love it, but I realize that in reality, no, I'm just making my voice go up and down to where the computer is satisfied, not actual listeners.
Right.
So, and it came back to my head. So, I don't know if you were aware of the merchandising for Call of Duty. There was actually a Call of Duty comic book.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Would that be like, could you actually say to someone, hey, if there's going to be another comic, I'd love to have my likeness transferred to a character, or, how does that work? How does that work?
Well, I'll just say right now, Activision, use my likeness. It's awesome. I'm pretty sure I signed away all rights to the likeness anyway for this game. So if I appear in the pages of a comic book, it's kind of like, hey. So I'm kind of okay with that, weirdly. So yeah, I would love to be a part of it. I hope that the response is so good for our version of Modern Warfare, and the Alex character in particular, that it does spawn a new comic book series and, sequels of the game, obviously, and all the other different media. I'm just hoping that I can somehow land a Funko out of this whole deal. We'll start with a Funko, but if we somehow make it up to like Todd McFarlane, super high levels of detail and articulation action figure, like that's okay too. But I'm fine with a bobblehead.
Would that just blow your mind if you got that? Really, either one of those.
As a kid who grew up collecting everything from He-Man to G.I. Joe to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I mean, if there was an action figure out there, I'm pretty sure I had a collection, and it's still in my parents' attic.
Nice.
For sure. So yeah, kind of the pinnacle.
I feel like you're the perfect guy for for one of these high detailed action figures. One of these, I mean, even if it wasn't in a franchise that you were really in, I mean, you're just you got the perfect shape for it. By the way, I give Chad a lot of shit for it all the time on the Instagram. So check out his Instagram. This mofo is in great shape, and like every time I see him, I'm like, oh man, I need to get more exercise. Look at this guy. He takes good care of himself.
like-
Clearly, the diet and exercise are in a good place for Chad.
Kevin and I got Fitbits and stuff, but like we're old guys. I mean, so like
We need that.
for you.
Troy, he's not that much younger than us. He just looks it.
Yeah, well. So what? Yeah. So what? I mean, like this guy's like what, 28?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
So is this all like? Is that all you? Is that you and a trainer? You have like a CrossFit guy. Do you have a gym you go to, and like you gym rats all hang out and push each other? Or
What is
like
your fitness secret?
yeah, I mean or is this like just you just get up and do it because you're disciplined?
I don't want to piss anyone off here, but it's really less about it's about what I don't do. I think that pays more dividends than what I do. But
Because we're all
it's
so
like,
mature.
I mean, I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and they were talking about pizza. And I was like, I remember pizza. And they were like, what do you mean you remember pizza? And I'm like, it's probably been a good like 10 years since my last traditional slice of pizza. So I don't eat bread. I don't eat grains. I don't eat dairy. I don't eat cheese at all. And it's partly because it just doesn't serve my needs. The other part is like I don't feel good. I can't do the things I like to do, look the way I like to look, if I eat these things. So it's like, it's a sacrifice you have to make to a certain degree. My joy of acting and doing the action stuff and being active and fit kind of outweighs that 5 minutes of fun than the 3 hours of wishing you didn't do it. I kind of lost that desire a long time ago. So, but I'm not a gym rat. I'm in the gym maybe twice a week. I just like to stay active. The foods that I do eat, they're the kind of foods where for me and my body, I can just kind of go down. There's no real restrictions on it because, it's not really going to come back to bite me in the ass or hang on my ass, I suppose, hang off my ass. So it's, I like to box a little bit. I still play in competitive basketball leagues. I'll hit the weights once or twice a week, maybe just do some casual hiking. But it's really, I guess my only secret, if I have a secret, is just, my philosophy always is, since this is the stuff I love to do as an actor, the action stuff, the fitness stuff, the military stuff, the superhero stuff, hopefully one day. My philosophy has always been like, well, if I never really get too badly out of shape, then I don't have to work so hard to get in shape. And then also people don't have to use their imagination. If they can see that I already kind of look the part, you'd be amazed at how far that will go as an actor, because for an industry that is based around creativity, there's not always a lot of imaginative people out there. I get it. Channing Tatum can put on 40, 50 pounds and they will give him the 6 months and the trainer and all the supplements to be Magic Mike. I get that. That's Channing Tatum. For your actor off the street, if you don't look like it, why would they trust you with this amount of money to transform yourself into a Captain America of the likes of Chris Evans? Like they're not going to do it. So it's on you to kind of be ready almost for anything at a moment's notice if this is the type of stuff that you want to do. And I don't know. I like my lifestyle. It's fun. I certainly have my vices too, which I'm sure Kevin, has seen on various San Diego Comic-Con encounters here and there and whatever. And we're not talking.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. What it is that you do on the IMDb boat stays on the IMDb boat. I'm pretty sure.
Very true. And since you're the captain, my secrets are about with you.
I just wear the hat. I'm not actually the captain. I just like to convince
not the actual captain.
Just like to convince those people that I am the actual captain, so I can go and sit around with Kevin Smith in the what is now backstage, but it used to be me and Chad and everybody else hanging out over where the ping pong table was. But now it's like, this is like the smoking area. I think pretty sure that's what they're doing down there. It is California, so it's legal, so it's fine.
They have not outlawed tobacco yet.
Yeah, well, no, it's California. They're allowed to smoke a variety of other things. Um,
Tons of
Tons,
things.
yeah. Um, which, by the way, if you haven't already, I don't know if you're particularly into that sort of thing. I know uh, Tiffany, your running buddy, has worked with Kevin Smith. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't know if you saw his new movie. Fantastic, just out the other day.
I
The
have.
yeah, you
Well, I grew up with obviously Clerks and Mallrats and some of Kevin's really great early offerings. So there's always a fondness in my heart for Mallrats in particular.
yeah.
So yeah, I actually look forward to seeing it. I would love to take that walk down memory lane and kind of remember watching those old movies on VHS. They're
Yeah,
probably
for
still owned.
probably. So it's not to spoil anything, but Jay and Silent Bob reboot is the Avengers Endgame of stoner comedies.
Okay.
It is. It's got. It tags up on every single thing they could possibly stuff into that movie, and it's incredibly meta. It's if you liked any of the View Askew movies, you will appreciate this because it's going to tag up on that movie at least each one multiple times, I would say.
Nice.
Does
Well, that's
Alanis
cool.
does Alanis Morissette make an appearance as God in this one?
Yes, yes, she's there, and she's mentioned multiple times too. It's kind of funny.
And isn't that ironic?
It is. Well, I don't think.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Um, but yeah, well, so those of you who are watching this now, whether it's live or in the future, check out Chad. Obviously, check out Chad Michael Collins doing doing Alex, or not Alex. What was it?
Alex, Echo 3-1.
Echo
Yeah,
Echo
Alex.
3-1. For some reason, I was saying, oh, E. It doesn't start with an E. Anyway, yeah, this Friday, with the new 2019 release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and of course, you know, if past history lends us any idea of how the future will, what the future will bring. You can go and get your Modern Warfare signed by Chad at Comic-Con 2020, because like, why would Mary Lee Holzheimer at Holzheimer's distribution not have him back to sign things again? I mean, it's probably gonna happen.
It's an open invite, so it's I'll probably be there next year, and yeah, she's wonderful to hang out on the floor and see all the cosplay and the costumes walk by and meet some fans and obviously make lots of friends.
Is it
down
gonna
there.
blow your mind when you see Alex cosplayed? Because it's gonna happen. You know?
I would love to do Alex cosplay. I feel like I have to because I can't really grow a mustache on my own. So it will be partially costumed.
You should definitely do it. You have some you must have some Hollywood type costume people that you know. I mean, you have been doing this for how many years now, so you probably have
Sure.
that covered.
Yeah. The cool thing about the Alex character is like, dude's pretty casual. If you look at his outfit, he's wearing he's just rocking some blue jeans.
Yeah. Yeah, that helps him blend into the local culture. Everybody loves blue jeans.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm just gonna wear these blue jeans, man, and steel-toed boots and a tactical vest. It's pretty cool, actually. Fun little piece of trivia on the Alex character. You will see like the arm sleeves. That is actually a replica of one of our Navy SEAL consultants, Steve. Has those tattoos, and so they put them on my character, which is a pretty cool nod to Mitch and Steve, who are U.S. Navy SEALs, high level now retired Navy SEALs who were our consultants on the game, extremely hands-on with everything from story to tactical combat and movement. Really, really amazing guys who were there with us every single step of the way on this project. So it was kind of cool to see his tattoos kind of thrown onto the Alex character.
So you got a good grade from these folks as far as your movements and that sort of that technical direction, I take it.
Yeah, I mean, between the sniper movies and stuff like this, I mean, the best you can do is hope you look proficient. You know, you're never going to be as natural as people who have lived this for years and years and years at the highest level. So, you know, there's a responsibility to get it right. You know, we're trying to pay homage to that. We're trying to represent, you know, these brave men and women, you know, in this way. So, you know, I love learning, you know, this way. I don't think I got an F. I certainly think I knew enough from my other endeavors that I could kind of be passable. But yeah, there's a couple things they corrected me on for sure, and the other cast as well. But what's really amazing about them is when they were kind of walking us through the paces and everything, they were like, you know, dude, you're CIA and you're dealing with small arms. The way you approach things is different than our SAS, you know, British fighter. He's going to hold things differently. He's obviously going to use different weapons. You know, Farah, the freedom fighter, who's only known, you know, Russian-occupied Urzikstan. She's going to have like an old Soviet weapon. She's going to, as a guerrilla warfare, you know, type of fighter, she's going to hold and approach tactical combat differently than you too. So they were kind of have like an old even Soviet in the way weapon. She's going to, as a guerrilla warfare, you know, type of fighter, so she's going to hold and approach tactical combat differently than you too. So they were kind of have like an old even in the way weapon. She's going to, as a guerrilla warfare, you know, type of fighter, so she's going to hold and approach tactical combat.
I think we're looping here.
You too. So they were kind of have like an old even in the way weapon.
That was weird.
She's gonna, as a guerrilla warfare, you know, type of fighter, so she's going to hold and approach tactical combat.
I think we're looping here.
You too. So
There's
they
a
were
weird
kind of,
thing happening.
even in the way.
All right, it's gone.
All right, we stopped
Oh my
moving.
That was weird.
That was terrifying. It was terrifying having to hear.
We were like stuck in a time.
I was
loop
like,
there.
why are you saying? I mean, I repeat myself, but you know, I figured Chad's not gonna do it. All right. Anyhow, I think that was my fault. I was that which doesn't. Oh, now I know why it happened. Just kidding. That was my fault. It wasn't EK. Well, that's hey. We're new to this, having people connect through video chat. So you know, normally it's just been people in person or you know, dial-in sorts. So hey, you're our guinea pig. Thank you very much for being our first person.
Happy to do it. I'm honored, actually.
Yeah. Well, you hey, you know, somebody's got to be it, and I'm glad that it's you. Because I feel like you'll be more understanding.
This is the equivalent of Kevin dropping that flashbang in his lap. You know, the first time, it's like, oh my God, what just happened here?
There you
Relate to. I can absolutely relate to this. You know, we do a reset, we do a respawn. It's all good. We live to fight another day.
There you go.
I'm just curious, Chad. Are you all? Do you also like paintball?
I've got a few times. Not really. You know, I grew up. I wouldn't say hunting a lot, but I grew up around. You know, it's upstate New York, so I mean, I was 7th grade when I properly trained with firearms, hunting rifles, and stuff like that. My family was very much into hunting and stuff like that, so I've been no stranger to guns, and I understand them, and I have kind of used them all my life casually with target practice and the range and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't paintball as much. It's pretty fun, paintball. It hurts more than you think. This is what most people I don't think realize.
Oh, I understand. Believe me.
Yeah.
When I was probably 18 or 19, I took one of those old Nell Spot 007s. They're like a 68 caliber ball to the chest, like, through 2 t-shirts was all I was wearing, and it stung like I can't even describe.
We used to chase each other around with actual BB guns back in the day growing up. That just tells you about my upbringing. So.
Oh yeah, just one pump. I only used one pump. Quit crying.
You know they were just doing this behind the tree.
Yeah.
It's really pumping that up. But yeah, I picked a few BBs out of my broken skin in my day.
As
So
have I.
it's a similar feeling to paintballs.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Well, cool. I think we've done it. We've had an interview. You know, not quite as conversational as some of ours are, but you know, we were dealing with all this
This new technology.
this new technology. By the way, I you know, in your honor here, the whole Call of Duty.
Yes.
I'm wearing my father's Marine sweater here this evening.
I love that, man. I noticed that right off the bat, dude. I appreciate the nod. And in fact, next time I see it, maybe you'll let me borrow it. It's pretty cool.
Sure, man.
And then, so I'm going to tell you that recently a trailer dropped for an upcoming film called Bloodshot. It's a comic book property. So
Sure.
yeah, Valiant Comics. Kevin and I were just at the Baltimore Comic Con over here on the East Coast. You should come visit us here on the East Coast sometime.
Definitely.
And
I'll give you the VIP tour of my day job.
oh yeah. So anyway, if you haven't had a chance, check the video out or check out the trailer. You know.
Yeah, he's the movie, right? Yeah. I've heard about it, but the trailer just dropped, huh? I will
Yeah.
check that out.
Oh,
I got Shot #1. I got all those old Valiant #1s.
Oh, my
Archer and
God.
Armstrong.
Oh my God!
Tons
Yeah,
of
so you know, Valiant made a comeback in the year 2012, and they've rebooted, reimagined, relaunched all of the properties that actually belong to them.
Yeah.
The Gold Key characters, Magnus, Turok, and Solar, don't belong to Valiant.
Right.
But the other ones
Right.
that do, you know, Bloodshot, Exo Man of War, Archer and Armstrong,
Yeah.
Quantum and Woody, they're just, you know, so good these books have been. So like managing a comic store, which is what I do, I have been championing these guys. I'm like, you know, hey, you should read I'm reading their comics, so I'm actually reading them, and I can tell you this is really good. Artwork is really good, story is really strong, characters really strong, and there's been a push to transcend their medium and make that move into cinema. Bloodshot looks like it's going to be the first step there, and trailer looks good. Check that out. Maybe maybe chat those guys up a little bit and go, hey, you know, I would be a great addition. Like, I will tell you the truth.
Clearly,
man.
he's Ninja K or
Yes, exactly. That's
All right.
exactly what I was thinking, dude. Colin, right there, Ninja K.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Well, it's Sony, is it not?
I don't remember now off the top of my head. I didn't even think I was going to have to talk about it, but you know what? Send a video resume to Valiant and go, hey, I want to be your Ninja K.
There you go. Clearly,
Like, dude, you could. Oh, it's you. It's so you.
yeah, very much so.
Perfect world.
Perfect
World.
Do a couple of spin kicks, maybe. Do some sword twirling, and I think you're in.
There you go.
Oh, sure. I just, you know, I can do that right now. I can't do that at all. I'll have to,
Might need to train up some. Well,
I don't know, man. Those hands look pretty quick.
they probably are.
it's just a lag in the video.
There you go. Well, hey, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I really appreciate your time, and like I say, we really look forward to watching you as Alex in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 this Friday. We're gonna, I don't know, stand in line or pre-order or something to get it as soon as possible. I don't know how to get it the fastest possible. Oh, maybe.
I honestly, I pre-ordered a copy on Amazon, so hopefully it's waiting.
Maybe I'll just do the
for me
digital
to
download. That's how to get it first.
Yeah, I might bug my benevolent overlords to be like, yo, can you hook up a digital download in the meantime? Yeah, maybe.
Oh, wait. Hey, I know that lady at Activision. Vipka. What's up, Vipka?
So
You
I'm
remember
terrible
me?
at first-person shooters, so I'm just going to watch Kevin play.
All right.
I think you'd be just as entertained. It's a pretty amazing story. I'm excited for everyone to play it as soon as it drops.
For sure. All right. So for Chad Michael Collins, Troy David, EK the DJ here at FXBG Public Radio, and for everything geek pop culture, I'm Kevin Goswan, and this is Comics Online.
Gang signs.
What?
Why not?
Bitches!
Disclaimer: the opinions expressed in this podcast may not represent those of Comics Online, any participants, or any employers past, present, or future. If you would have thought otherwise without hearing this disclaimer, maybe you're not ready for this whole internet thing, much less modern warfare. Or maybe you're instead one of our smart and sexy fans who appreciate foul language, first-person shooters, biting sarcasm, and everything geek pop culture. If you have comments or questions for the Comics Online podcasters, post on our Facebook page, tweet us on Twitter, or email us at podcast@comicsonline.com. All original material in this podcast copyright Comics Online.
As when a lion roareth, and when he cried, 7 thunders uttered their voice.
Converting earthly language into thrust. As you kneel before Aizawa, Legend of Zelda's turn to dust. Podcasting from the future like your time was dead and gone. And we rock the best site like ComicsOnline.com. Level 12 cybernetics, vibranium power acts. You communicate with snail mail while we wireless adapt. We are more than ECI as we descend to blow your spot. You're a copy of better tech like your name was GoBots. You hoping for iTunes, but little noob, you in the danger zone. We're all the best leaders like Serpentor on his throne. Written by Stan the Man, don't you ever try to serve thee. New got of this book like we were drawn by Jack Kirby. Hunger like Sinistar, consumer culture than Galactus. Final Fantasy domination with our super geeky tactics. From the days of Marconi to Buff and Loud Investment City. You can hear us on every radio, stolen in Vice City. From leaping tall buildings to going off like gamma bombs. Switch your internet browser to ComicsOnline.com.